have done that, but, I mean, should I have relocated him? How do you relocate a gnat? I need screens, okay? I need screens. I need to spline my screens. John Nelson Darby would have seen that those who are of pure heart after the year 5775, why does that matter? Because we needed to tip our own grid. We front-loaded and double stacked everything as a planet, you know? It's everywhere. The violence and just the mayhem and viruses. The Ebola jokes, Jim, are actually near and dear to my heart, and I struggle with how un-PC it is now. I've made Ebola jokes for the past 10 years. I have a hazmat suit that my dad got me for Halloween, and Plague War, all these books on, you know, because I truly believe that, you know, level 4 hot, you know, hemorrhagic fevers and viruses are going to be far more interesting in terms of reminding us how fragile we are than anything else. But it's here. This is it. The apocalypse is now. If any of you are wondering and you're waiting for zombies, you are the zombies. You are the zombies. You're the ones who were left behind, walking around, repeating patterns on the 3rd floor, chasing your tail with your farty chi. Zero-sum game, any kind of schadenfreude. Double stacks and front loads a grid. Now, if you were on the other side before 5775, which is 2014, you would have been able to leverage that. That's how bad people were able to accomplish great things and have people think they were cool instead of farty chi masters. On this side of the grid, so it's like getting on a seesaw and then loading up the other side with a bunch of bricks until you go flying off. If I engage, I get on that seesaw. That's my ego paying the grid. I don't want to get on the seesaw with farty chi masters because they tend to be very uninteresting. They don't tend to be very educated in terms of their desire to see the other side. They don't tend to find perspective. They tend to do what farty chi masters do. They validate their own kind of pedestrian, ordinary view of the world. And they usually do it in an uninteresting way, with uninteresting emotional choices. So when I hear, you know, the next time you're around people that say some really nasty things about someone, they'll do it about you too. And when you're sitting there laughing, somebody else is going to take your spot and be laughing about them doing the exact same thing about you. If you're okay with that, knock yourselves out. Have a great time. That's like a, it looks like what it is. It looks like a bunch of sea monkeys on a racetrack just swimming around, bumping into each other. What I'm interested in is people who say, all right, she says the wrong thing, she bumbles around, she's clearly made some enemies, because look at some of the amazing, illustrious people who have blocked her tweet hole, just stuck a cork right in my tweet hole. Lucky for me, I am all about what this is and not who gets the credit, so I'll keep moving around. I don't give a shit. Doesn't matter to me how many followers I have. Matter of fact, when I get to 500, that's my canary in the coal mine. When you become love and it's not about ego, I want to see people succeed, people that I like. I want to see people with kind hearts no longer get bullied. I want to see, you know what I want to see happen? I'm going to tell you. Tunes back in, everybody. I think I have a point. That tunes back in, everybody, and then I have disgust, contempt, and scorn for the fact that I don't believe anybody watches these, including people I like and respect. That's interesting. What are you going to do? That sucks, and it hurts my feelings, and it stings, but Percy and Dan and Hank and Emily and Hazel and Papa S and Elsie and Scotty, all of them. Robin W. They are inside. That is where they ride. And I dare any of you to stand in a room and pick out the different radio waves without using some kind of apparatus to hear. This is no different. It's just technology that doesn't use technology. It uses technology to scaffold what we were born with. So there's a really interesting documentary on stress, and there's a I'm going to misquote all of this, but I think it's an important story. This amazing doctor who was studying telomeres in the brain found that because of stress they'll fray. The ends, they'll be much shorter and shorten the life and shorten the quality of life for these, I want to say baboons. I want to say they were baboons. But then again, I thought John Nelson Darby was 1730 and he was 1830, so it's like a slot machine up here. I never know what's going to come out. 2 oranges and a banana. That'd be my Joe's. My other half of my orange. What ended up happening was these very, very aggressive alpha males, kind of like farty chi masters, and they just push their stuff on everyone, and they're bullies, and they're uninteresting, and they're not sensitive, and they have absolutely zero self-reflection. They have no concept how they're viewed. They're often seen pushing things, pushing people, pushing inanimate objects, shoving things. They're just, Well, in this world, these baboons were very forceful, and they had these, there were these campsites, human campsites, obviously, and obviously not baboon. Baboons aren't like, I'm getting in the RV. There was some tainted meat, badly tainted meat, and the aggressive ones stormed in and took all the meat and wouldn't let any of the more docile and sweeter males or females or children have the meat. They were just all about themselves. It was tainted. It was horrible. It killed all them off. And the doctor was devastated, and he was bawling his eyes out, and he continued, like I would have, he continued his studies, even though it was like this devastating loss. And over the next few years, you know what happened? They ended up with the most cohesive little village of baboons. The only males that were left were the males that were sensitive and kind and understanding. They weren't weak.